What's up, guys? Today we're gonna lower the vet for under 20 bucks, so let's do it. So I've actually been slacking on vlogging the vet. Biggest thing I've done, got long tube headers in there along with the X pipe. So this thing is nice and loud now. Also, there's short throw shifter in there. Aside from that, it's all stock on the interior. Hopefully getting a Sparko steering wheel soon in there. And then in the back, tinted the taillights, got black inlays, and painted the diffuser down here. I also painted the roof too. So now plans are get the fitment right. Now I got the exterior and the sound down. I also ordered 1-inch spacers for both wheels, so with the drop, hopefully have good fitment now. Won't look like a grandpa Corvette. So over here are the tools we're gonna need. The biggest thing is you're gonna need to pick up a new nut and bolt for your suspension. So a lot of the Corvette guys, what they do is they lower it all the way on stock springs, which means it's usually like here somewhere, and you just undo this until it's up to the top. But you're kind of limited with the stock bolts because they're only so high. But I got a 7-inch bolt, so it begins where the old one would end, so you have a whole nother inch to work with. So I'm probably just gonna have it right at the tippy top and see how low it is. If it's way too low, then I'm just gonna raise it, but otherwise I'll just leave it. And then as for the tools, you're gonna need a 13 by 16 wrench and a 3/4 wrench to hold the nuts. And then for the bolts, you're gonna use a 19mm socket. I recommend using one of these. But you can also just use a ratchet. So here's proof that's under 20 bucks. But actually, I was wrong. 20, I can't do that math. 20 bucks and like 80 cents. But anyways, these are the two bolts. This is the priciest part. I got these at Fastenal. I checked Lowe's and they had them, but here's the specs you need, and the longest they had was a 6. This is a 7. If you get a 6, you're probably gonna be about stock height. You can also do an 8, but I've heard that's like you'll be bottoming out. So I went with the 7, and you're gonna do a 1/2 by 13. And you're also gonna make sure it's grade 8, which is the type of bolt. Regular bolts aren't as strong, but these, you can see they have the little lines on the end that signify it's a grade 8. These are stronger ones, so you want to make sure to go with those. And then I also used a grade 8 locking nut. This one has the nylon tip to make sure it locks in. If you're working with your suspension, you really want to like go for the good parts. You want to be trying to use this, because I think you might be able to use this, but it feels kind of loose on the new bolts, so I just went ahead and got better locking one. I'll probably use Loctite stuff too. So let's go ahead and get into this. Okay, so we're under the car now, and here in the suspension you can see I already got the first bolt in. I did this one earlier, and I went ahead and screwed it down until 10 threads. So there's 10 threads on that side, and I'm gonna make the other side even with that, so hopefully it'll be the same, and we won't have to get the car realigned or anything. So here you can see you unscrew the old one from here, pop it out, put in the new one, bolt it in. I'll show you. Stock one is over here, right there. That's what it looks like stock. So you can see I have it maxed out on the threads. It's as low as it'll go, but it's still not that low. It only dropped about 1 inch. So we're just gonna unscrew this, drop it out. We're gonna hold this with the wrench and then turn this one counterclockwise until it's completely out, and then the bolts just drop out. Throw in the new one, put the bolt on top, and crank it down and get it to about 10 threads. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Okay, so I recorded me getting out, but my elbow blocked the entire thing. But anyways, here's what it should look like when it drops out. Right here, just used the gun and completely untightened it. And once it was fully loose, it just dropped right out, and then the bolt popped off the top. So all you have to do is unscrew it from here while you hold that screw or that bolt up there. got the new hardware in, but what we're gonna do now is count the threads on the bolt right here and make sure they're the same as the threads on the bolt on this side, just to make sure both sides of the car are even. So I got both of the bolts down to 10 threads, and now we're just gonna drop it down, see how it looks. If it's too low, we'll tighten it more, and if it's too high, then we'll loosen it more. So the fitment already looks so much better, but I've heard that it takes about 3 days for the car to fully settle down to its new height. So if you want, you could take it on a drive and kind of take some turns and try and get the suspension to settle down faster, but you can also just let it sit. But dang, that looks so much better already.